You guys know that Frank Vogel was missing some time because himself was being added. He's on health and safety protocol too, right? He wasn't just
Yes,
wasn't just
he
doing it
is.
for some reason, right? I got him mixed up with Ben Casey. Ben Casey was out because of personal reasons, and Frank Vogel is on health and safety protocol. So, as I told Jackie, if there was a situation, if Frank Vogel were to get fired or something like this would happen, we talked about who would be the guy that would take his place. I told you it's gonna be Fizz, and well, Fizz was the guy. David Fizdale was coaching the team last night. I just want to say this. Now, if there's any Knicks fan in this chat that's listening, I just want to say this. Now, I know Fizdale gets a bad rap with the Knicks, and deservedly so. It was a catastrophe when he coached the Knicks. But I really like the dude. I like David Fizdale. I always believe that he needs a team full of old people for him to get his way. He just can't coach young guys. So now with the Lakers, I'm like, you know what? I think this might be a solid opportunity. Mind you, he's still missing players, but I think this would be a solid opportunity. So with that being said, people are a little frustrated and upset because this man is playing LeBron James way too many damn minutes. But again, this was just his first game coaching. Frank Vogel was already playing LeBron James tons of minutes leading up to that game because, well, if you want to believe it or not, I know LeBron missed some time to start off the season. LeBron is 4th in the league in minutes. And no, he's not playing for the Knicks. And no, his coach is not Tom Thibodeau. That's just the way it is. So now the question is coming out is that because that's what they have to do because that's all they got? When they know when LeBron James is not playing, this team has zero shot of winning games. Hell, Steve Nash admit to the same thing in Brooklyn with Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant got a whole bum leg, but he's playing the most minutes in the NBA right now because he has to. Steve Nash said, if this dude's not on the floor for me, we gonna lose? Yes. So we're seeing a situation like that where these teams are becoming very minute heavy, which is, could be worrisome going into the playoff time, especially with these kind of teams right now. Lakers, I know they're in a rough spot, but they still believe once they get in, they have a shot. The Nets are number 1 in the East. They think that once they get in, they have a shot. All these kind of things. But sticking to LeBron James, we have these tweets coming up talking about the minutes and why David Fizdale went to go with him for so long. Fizdale on concerns about LeBron James' minutes, he said, LeBron don't give us a choice. This guy is a freak, man. He said LeBron often tells the Lakers mid-game when he can take on extra minutes if there's a chance for a W, as he did in Chicago. Well, that didn't end in a W, but you guys saw that LeBron played. I think he put in 42 minutes, 41, something like that. A lot of minutes.
42.
A lot of minutes. It was 42 minutes. Yeah, see, a lot of minutes. But then he continued talking about LeBron and David Fizdale. He said, here's Lakers interim head coach David Fizdale's full response to Bill Bisacki's question. He said, is there a concern about LeBron James minutes or you just don't have a choice? And then it also, like I just mentioned, it said LeBron's 4th in minutes per game at 37.2, which would be his highest average since 2016, 2017. God, that is a lot of minutes. There's one thing to say that about like Julius Randle and RJ Barrett on the Knicks. They still young. Like none against LeBron James' age. They still young. They got the knees for it. LeBron, we trying to keep you in the league for a few more seasons. This ain't the way to do it. This is not the way to do it. Anyways, so David Fizdale answered that question on if they're forced because they had no choice or if it's because LeBron. David Fizdale said this. He said, LeBron don't give us a choice, like we just mentioned. He said, LeBron's like, put me out there. This guy's a freak, man. It's just so cool being with him again. He wants to be able to compete. So if he said, if he sees a situation where we're down, or where he would normally come out, but it's right there, and he's like, I feel okay. Like in Chicago, I said, just let me know. But he felt good and just kept saying, I want to stay in there. I want to stay in there. So no, I don't have a concern. Short answer. But again, I'm not here that long. That's easy for me to say as an assistant. Obviously, the higher ups in our medical team will have to make those decisions, but the way he prepares himself and the liveliness that he brings to the game, no, I don't. It's a long-winded answer of saying we ain't got no damn choice but to play LeBron James a lot of minutes. That's all it is. He tried to fluff it up by saying LeBron, he's a freak of nature and he's ready. He tells them all no, that LeBron is saying to them, you have no choice but to play me right now, because if I'm not in the game right now, we're going to lose that chance and that lead or that opportunity we have of getting back in the game. So basically, Fizz is saying, yeah, we ain't got no chance. We ain't got no choice but to play LeBron James. So now Jackie Ray has a LeBron stan and somebody that wants to see LeBron play for another 18 or 19 seasons. What are your thoughts on him playing the fourth most minutes in the league? And do you also agree that the Lakers really have no damn choice but to play LeBron James if they want to continue to win games? They're at 500 now.
So this one bothered me. So like I said, I was in and out of that game. One of the moments where I was out where LeBron had just come down on Crowder's stepped on his foot, and so he kind of twisted his ankle a little bit, and you could tell that was an issue for him. And then Reggie, who was calling the game, was like, okay, so now you know LeBron's going to play more minutes, because the last thing you want is for that ankle to get tight if he starts to sit out. So, blah, 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 blah. So for me, here's the thing. I don't care if LeBron's going to be 37 on December 28th. I wouldn't care if he was 27. That's too many damn minutes. That's very hard to sustain. Of course, it's harder to sustain when you're older. Now, if LeBron had a little bit of support, if Westbrook was doing what we thought he was going to do, Carmelo's the only one that I can't get mad at, but if he had a little bit of support, he's the only one I can't get mad at. And if Anthony Davis wasn't Mr. Glass, and he was playing, then maybe you say, hey, we're going to play him more minutes, but we're not going to play him 40 something minutes. That's ridiculous, That's not what we're going to do. But when you know that you don't have the personnel, so you're thinking that he's going to be 2015, 2016 LeBron, where he carries the entire team on his back. No, that's not going to happen. And so that's problem number one. You're not going to win with one guy. That's not how the Lakers are built. They're not built that way. That's number one. Number two, this goes back to what I said before. A coach with a backbone would say, that's cool, LeBron, but we're going to have to take this L, because it's more important for you to be healthy down the stretch than it is for you to go out there and let's maybe get a win, but it doesn't look like we're going to get that right now. We don't have any coaches with a backbone. They can't tell LeBron no, and that bothers me.
Yeah. Has any coach besides Mike Spoelstra, and that's why they had the little fallout for a little bit, and then everything got better. Has any coach been able to tell LeBron James no?
I think in Miami, I think that's the only time.
That was it, right? Yeah, Spoelstra.
Yeah, that's it. You're right. So, other than that, you might as well just give him the damn little notepad. You're running everything.
Right. Yeah, I agree. But then my question is to you, with all that being said, do you think at watching the Lakers game, do you think that it's mainly because they have no choice? Because when LeBron's off the court, the Lakers tend to lose the lead or lose a chance of getting the lead back. So I agree with you, but do you think that it's just he's forced to do it, whether they tell him no or not? He has to play.
That's happened on every team he's been on, including the Cavs. When he's off the floor, we typically lose the lead. Now, we don't typically let teams go on these 15-0 or 8-0 runs, but every team he's been on, with the exception of Miami, that first season, we typically lose the lead when he's off the floor. So, this ain't new information. You just got to adapt better.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that. That's crazy. I did not know he was in fourth in minutes. That is the one thing you do not want to hear about LeBron James, especially because a lot of us want to see LeBron play a few more seasons. And yeah, I don't know. I just hope everything's gonna be all right with him. But like we said, LeBron James is a freaking nature. He's different. He's probably gonna be one of those players that can tough it out. But golly, yeah, Lakers need to give him some help. My man Carmelo Anthony's trying. His frustration to me was warranted last night when he got ejected. I got it. I do think the referee was a little sensitive on that ejection, in my opinion, because I do understand what Melo was coming with. But that whatever. I think he needs help. Yeah. AD, he needs help.